The thing that is really hard and really amazing is giving up on being perfect and beginning the work of becoming yourself. If your success is not on your own terms, if it looks good to the world but does not feel good in your heart, it is not success at all. If an opportunity scares you, that's God's way of saying you should jump at it. After all those years, as a woman hearing, not thin enough, not pretty enough, not smart enough, not this enough, not that enough, almost overnight I woke up one morning and thought, I'm enough. I read and walked for miles at night along the beach, writing bad, blank verse and searching endlessly for someone wonderful who would step out of the darkness and change my life. It never crossed my mind that person could be me. I learned to love the journey, not the destination. I learned that this is not a dress rehearsal, and that today is the only guarantee you get. Get a life, a real life, not a manic pursuit of the next promotion, the bigger paycheck, the larger house. We read in bed because reading is halfway between life and dreaming our own consciousness in someone else's mind. In life, the classroom is everywhere. The exam comes at the very end. When men do the dishes, it's called helping. When women do the dishes, it is called life. In a democratic society, the only treason is silence. A finished person is a boring person. When you really want to say no, you can't do everything, or at least not well. A man who builds his own pedestal had better use strong cement. A life of unremitting caution, without the carefree, or even occasionally, the careless may turn out to be half a life. Life is so messy that the temptation to straighten it up is very strong, and the results always illusory. There's no greater happiness than doing something every day that you love, that you feel you do in a satisfactory fashion, and which both supports and gives you time to support your family. I felt so lucky to have all that. Don't ever confuse the two, your life and your work. The second is only part of the first. Adolescence is a tough time for parent and child alike. It is a time between childhood and maturity, between parental protection and personal responsibility, between life stage managed by grown-ups and life privately held. Children should have enough freedom to be themselves once they've learned the rules. Women are the glue that holds our day-to-day world together. Ignorant free speech often works against the speaker. That is one of several reasons why it must be given rein instead of suppressed. Ask any woman how she makes it through the day, and she may mention her calendar, her to-do lists, her babysitter. But if you push her on how she really makes it through her day, she will mention her girlfriends. Keeping kids safe is sometimes a delusion. The world is a perilous place. Sometimes the kitchen is a perilous place. When children are small, parents should run their lives and not the other way around. If men got pregnant, there would be safe, reliable methods of birth control. They'd be inexpensive too. You write to suit some sense in yourself and trust that that will resonate with a certain wider readership. Your children make it impossible to regret your past. They're its finest fruits, sometimes the only ones. All the things we don't say, all the words we swallow, and it makes nothing but trouble. Look at the view, and you'll never be disappointed. People who wish to salute the free and independent side of their evolutionary character acquire cats. People who wish to pay homage to their servile and salivating roots own dogs. The pursuit of otherness, the sense that we are somehow different than our brothers and sisters, no matter where we find them, allows for all the other great evils: racism, sexism, homophobia, violence against gay people and against women. And a great misunderstanding is that children think their parents are grown up, and parents feel obliged to act as if they were. The world is full of women, blindsided by the unceasing demands of motherhood, still flabbergasted by how a job can be terrific and tortuous. There is only room in the lifeboat of your life for one, and you always choose yourself and turn your parents into whatever it takes to keep you afloat. Reading is not simply an intellectual pursuit but an emotional and spiritual one. It lights the candle in the hurricane lamp of self. That's why it survives amid attempts to protect elephants from ivory poachers and dolphins from tuna nets. The rights of children go remarkably unremarked. Loss as muse, loss as character, loss as life. Sometimes I remind myself that I almost skipped the party, that I almost went to a different college, that the whim of a minute could have changed everything and everyone. Our lives so settled, so specific, are built on happenstance, and sometimes you do everything right and something bad just happens. It's as simple and as scary as that. Real friends offer both hard truths and soft landings, and realize that it's sometimes more important to be nice than to be honest. Life is not so much about beginnings and endings as it is about going on and on and on. It is about muddling through the middle. Anna Marie Quindlen, born July 8, 1952 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. On July 8, 1952, the daughter of Prudence Pontano, 1928-1972, and Robert Quindlen. Her father was Irish-American and her mother was Italian-American. Quindlen graduated in 1970 from South Brunswick High School in South Brunswick, New Jersey, and then attended Barnard College, from which she graduated in 1974. She was married to New Jersey attorney Gerald Croviton, whom she met while in college. Their sons Quindlen Croviton and Christopher Croviton are published authors, and daughter Maria is an actress, comedian, and writer. Quindlen is an American author, journalist, and opinion columnist. Her New York Times column, Public and Private, won the Pulitzer Prize for commentary in 1992. She began her journalism career in 1974 as a reporter for the New York Post. Between 1977 and 1994, she held several posts at the New York Times. Her semi-autobiographical novel One True Thing 1994 served as the basis for the 1998 film starring Meryl Streep and Renée Zellweger. Anna Quindlen left journalism in 1995 to become a full-time novelist. In 1999, she joined Newsweek, writing a bi-weekly column until she announced her semi-retirement in the May 18, 2009 issue of the magazine. Quindlen is known as a critic of what she perceives to be the fast-paced and increasingly materialistic nature of modern American life. Much of her personal writing centers on her mother, who died from ovarian cancer when Quindlen was 19 years old. She has written 9 novels, several of which have been adapted into motion pictures. One True Thing was made into a feature film in 1998. It starred Meryl Streep, who received an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress for the role. Black and Blue and Blessings were made into television movies in 1999 and 2003, respectively. Quindlen participates in Learned League under the name Quindlena,